State Attorney General Josh Stein is
back with us. He's answering your consumer questions for a few more minutes. You can text them to the number right there at the bottom of your screen, 379-5.
Text them, do not call that number. Okay, let's get right to this. You have a scam scorecard. And we were just talking about scams, and there's 1,000,001 of them. But let's take a look at this scam scorecard and see how you are sectioning this out and where the numbers go.
We do this every month. We've got a program called Operation Silver Shield, and it's about protecting the vulnerable people in North Carolina. Often those folks are seniors. And the coronavirus situation is happening. There are all kinds of scams involving that, but run-of-the-mill scams still happen. We went after a contractor in Chapel Hill that was targeting senior citizens, particularly ones who were in cognitive decline. Took more than $200,000 from a single 76-year-old woman about house repairs that were nothing. They were nothing. And so we've gone to court and shut that operator down. But folks just need to understand that the scammers, they never stop, and they're truly heartless. Whereas any person with any ounce of compassion would know that a person was in a vulnerable position and would try to do everything they can to help that person. Those are the ones they try to take advantage of, and folks just need to be careful. So we're constantly trying to educate people about what the latest types of scams are, remind them about those. That's a lot about what the scam scorecard is about.
Someone is asking, what does it mean when you get a call from your own number? Is that a scammer?
Almost certainly it's a scammer. That's called spoofing. And spoofing is a great signal to somebody who's up to no good. More common than your own number is it'll be your area code and the first 3 digits of your phone number and something that's similar to your number but a little different, so that you think, is this from my family? Is this from a neighbor? And what they're doing is they know what your number is. They try to make it look like your number, in this person's case, actually the same number, and in the hope that you'll pick it up and then they can get you on the hook.
And of course, they can spoof your own home phone number. They can spoof the IRS number. They can spoof your local law enforcement number. Anytime they start asking you for money or gift cards or things of that nature, that is just not right.
Yeah, Tanya, I'm glad you mentioned the IRS, because we are seeing a lot of scams around the IRS because of the economic impact payment. I mean, so much money was flowing from the federal government to people in financial distress to try to keep the economy going along while we shut down everything. Well, it's easy for a scammer to make their number look like the IRS. You think it's the IRS, you're looking for your payment, and then they'll ask you what your bank account information is. If you get a call from anyone claiming to be the IRS or claiming to be the courthouse and its jury duty, or Department of Health and Human Services because of contact tracing, any government official, you do not have to respond when they call you. Hang up the phone, find out what the phone number is, and then you initiate the call back to that organization to confirm that it's legitimate. Because 99 times out of 100, it will not be.
On this same vein, someone texts in this question: do I need to pay anything up front to get my unemployment payment?
Absolutely not. That is a perfect example of a scam. To get your unemployment payment, your economic impact payment, these are things that you are entitled to at no additional expense. And somebody who's claiming that they can get you those funds in response to payment, they are trying to steal. And not only will you lose the money you pay them, you'll never get what you thought you were getting on the other end.
All right, we're kind of back to robocalls on this text. This person says, regarding the robocalls, what do we need to do to get them to stop calling if you're already part of the do not call database?
That's the $100,000 question. Because we want, first of all, good to be on the do not call list. You want to be on the do not call list. That way, anytime a telemarketer is calling you, they are already a lawbreaker because they're not supposed to be calling you. I have been working tirelessly on this issue for the last 2.5, 3 years. I put together a 51 Attorney General coalition to tackle this problem, engaging with the phone companies, because this is fundamentally a problem of technology. The way these calls are made is using the internet. It's called Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP. It's incredibly cheap for the scammers to use the internet to make these phone calls. And they're able to mask who they are through the spoofing, what we were just talking about, where the number looks like it's some other number. Well, for us to ever really succeed in getting rid of robocalls, it's going to require a technological solution even more than a legal one. Because as we mentioned at the very beginning of this conversation, the Supreme Court upheld the law banning these calls. So we've got good law. I am aggressively enforcing the law whenever we can identify who they are. And the phone companies are helping to cooperate with those investigations. But if we're really going to win this, the phone companies are going to have to deploy technology that screens out the calls before they even come to your phone line. And the technology that they have is getting better every month, and they are deploying that technology. That was part of what my office helped to negotiate with these phone companies last year. And there's one thing called stir shaken, which is a particular type of technology that once all of the phone companies have deployed it, will make it really very difficult for the companies to spoof, the robocallers to spoof their numbers, because they're going to actually have to validate the number so that the number that is sending the call is the same one that's displayed on your screen. And that should help a great deal.
And when does stir shaken happen? Do we have a date on that yet?
It's a rolling basis. Okay. Certain companies have fully deployed that technology. Others are in the process of deploying it. It won't take full effect until everybody has done it.
Okay. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, of course, we can have your text questions. There's the number on the screen. We're going to talk about what happens if you made beach reservations and they won't give you your money back. We're going to talk about that coming up next.